Hey guys, Aggie Mathan here. Said I'd bring up a new Sage healing video because the last one I made is about a year old and pretty out of date. Still a little helpful, I think, though. But here's a new one. I've had to do a couple matches first just to get back into the hang of things because I haven't Sage healed in forever. But let me kind of go over my tree with you. Yours can be a little different. This is just kind of what I run. I do the 2 in balance for the willpower, the 7 in TK, inner strength, mental longevity, and I use TK defense just for the extra absorb in the force armor. Since you're always using force armor, I figure that's actually pretty helpful when you do the math. In the Seer tree, I don't spec into psychic fusion. I don't force or spec into force shelter, and I don't spec into confound. I do spec into the egress. I do spec into the damage dealt is less when when my force stun wears off. The abilities you get from here is rejuvenate, healing trance, and salvation. Alright, so pretty much you always want to have your force barrier on the individuals that are taking damage. If you've got a group of 8 and 6 of them aren't taking damage, there's no need to force barrier them because that just eats up your force. So try to get in the habit of always keeping your force armor on the people who are only taking damage, and make sure that you can use that force barrier on cooldown when their debuff is off. So always use the force barrier. Next, you will want to use rejuvenate followed by healing trance. And you want to use these off of cooldown. So rejuvenate, healing trance. Right now I've got 2 resplendents. Rejuvenate, and then okay, healing trance. I'm waiting. Man, okay, force barrier or force armor. Right now I've got clairvoyance. This is from the Seer tree. This means I can use benevolence for free, instant cast, or it's not for free, but it's an instant cast. And that's the only time I will use benevolence, is when I have clairvoyance. See, there it is again. Benevolence. Alright. Next, you see, as I discussed in my last video about a year ago, you've got these resplendents. That hasn't changed. You get resplendents from using healing trance. Alright, what I like to use resplendents for is either if I'm getting low on force, I can use my noble sacrifice and just self-heal back up, or rejuvenate healing trance. There's clairvoyance. Rejuvenate. Use some force potency followed by some deliverance. Alright. Rejuvenate healing trance. Alright. Or you can use the instant cast for salvation with 3 resplendents. Every time you get a resplendence, it takes the cooldown from it's 0.6 or 0.6 seconds off of your salvation. So now it's down to 1.29. Now it's free with 3. And really that's all you really need to do. Use restoration doesn't really have a purpose right now, just because you can't get rid of a madness or balance spec dots. You can get rid of the dots if that character is not that spec, but most of the time you'll just heal through it anyways. So force armor on the people who are taking damage, followed by rejuvenate and healing trance. Always use these 2. And when you can, use rejuvenate before you use healing trance. Use benevolence whenever you have clairvoyance. It's the only time you should use that, when it's instant cast and it doesn't waste your time. And then I like to use Deliverance when I hit Force Potency and Mental Alacrity. Just makes it hit harder, and it takes way less time to cast. I've got Clairvoyance right there. Use it. Force Armor, Rejuvenate, Healing Trance. See, I've got one, so now it's not instant. It takes 1.2 seconds to cast. And that's about it, honestly. It's just a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 buttons. It's really like a 4-button rotation with here and there every now and then. It gets a little different whenever you're getting attacked. You'll want to use your Force Barrier when you're really low. You can use Force Stun, Force Slow, Push Back, your Force Wave. I mean, you've got a ton of abilities to get the enemy off of you. And on top of that, with Egress, it doesn't matter if you're rooted or not, you can just run away. So if you have any questions or comments, please let me know in the comment section below. Alright, hope this helped. Thanks.